Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, close your eyes for a second. Just picture this with me. The air is like biting cold, right? Snowy mountain peaks everywhere, stretching out under this glowing blood crimson moon.
Yeah, intense image.
Totally. And there's this lone figure, cloaked, standing on a cliff edge, cape whipping in the wind, and then suddenly a voice cuts through the snow, calling out. And boom, you're pulled right into this world. Gothic romance, hidden powers, deep personal conflict.
It's quite the setup.
So today, we're doing a really fascinating deep dive. We've got this amazing collection of source material. There's a multi-panel comic scene, really gripping stuff.
Yeah, and these super detailed character bios, family lineage charts too, which are intricate.
And even a manga flashback scene, which adds another layer.
Definitely. Our mission really is to unpack the identity of Cimmerian. He's this character whose whole existence is just woven from, well, ancient bloodlines, really powerful magic, and this traumatic, forbidden love story.
We're going to explore, his inherited curses, his gifts, the whole complex family tapestry.
And that key moment where his hidden nature just gets completely laid bare.
Yeah, get ready for some, I think, surprising insights into what it really means to be, and this is a quote, cursed to love like a man, but hunger like a god.
That quote really captures it.
It does. We're going to dive deep into his character, his world. And look, there's a lot of detail here, but we really want to highlight the crucial stuff, the things that define him and his conflict, so you feel totally clued in.
Exactly. Let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get the drama of the scene we're going to break down later, we first need to understand Cimmerian himself, the heir to Twilight. Even his titles tell the story.
Oh, absolutely. He's the debate general, lineage heir of the Twilight Crest, a Northern Mountain pureblood, temple scholar, debate champion of Northern halls. It's quite a list.
It really is. Sounds impressive, maybe a bit intimidating.
Oh, yeah. And what's fascinating is how these roles connect to his actual abilities.
Yeah.
He's not just, a scholar on paper. He's a master of language, fluent in things like formal Araquanic court Latina, understands the shadow tongue of the hidden line. But the really unique one is his Northern Mountain vampiric dialect.
Ah, tell me about that. The description sounds amazing.
It really is. The sources describe it as having this low guttural Germanic lilt interspersed with Korean sibilants with a dark poetic rhythm. It just gives him this unique vocal presence, hints at his dual heritage.
Wow, yeah. That description alone paints such a picture. So he also has the sacred skill, right? Argument shaping through tone, or how do you say it?
Kiasa vivasquazda.
Kiasa vivasquazda.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that actually work? Like in a debate or just daily life? Is it subtle or like full-on magic persuasion?
That's a great question. It's subtle but powerful. Kiasa vivasquazda means he can, almost without you noticing, influence opinions, sway arguments just through the nuance, the power, the emotional weight of his voice.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, pretty potent skill for a debate general. And then he's also got an elemental bond to a storm flicker flame and this personal wind thread tied to curiosity and logic.
Yeah.
Makes him a really formidable intellectual force.
So this all ties back to his roots, this ancient twilight-bound vampiric society in the Northern Mountains.
Exactly, an aristocracy. And their connection to the full blood moon is key. They don't just wander around. Their appearances are rare, strategic, tied to ritual, rites, sometimes vengeance.
And his great-great-grandfather, Lord Cirion Drellicar, actually founded this secretive order.
Right, but the foundational twist, the thing that really defines Cimmerian's struggle, comes from an ancient spell cast by his human sorceress great-great-grandmother from the Inner Forest.
Okay, a human sorceress in the mix. Interesting.
And very. This spell allows the male vampires in his line to live basically as humans.
Yeah.
But for that one twilight under the blood moon, they transform. Full, feral, vampiric form. Enhanced senses, voice manipulation, mind-piercing vision. The sources say it perfectly. We live like mortals, but for a sliver of the moonlight, we remember what we are.
Wow, so it's not just a cool power, it's this fundamental curse and choice.
Exactly. He has to marry a full-blooded vampires or sorceress to continue his line, or the whole ancestral spell just dissolves. Gone.
So it forces him to choose, uphold this ancient bloodline duty, this rigid vow, or follow his own feelings, maybe towards a future that looks completely different.
Precisely. It really elevates the stakes beyond just, vampire problems. It taps into that universal struggle, legacy versus personal desire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And adding another layer, we learn about the 3 known vampiric lines in Araquana. There's Cimmerian's line, the noble, fierce, ancient Germanic northern line.
Yeah.
Then the agile, elegant, mind-gifted Korean eastern ridge line. And finally, the elusive and forbidden, hidden black vampiric line. They carry Duskfire breath and the memory silence gift.
Whoa, hold on. Memory silence. That sounds ominous. What is that?
It's pretty much what it sounds like. A power to erase or suppress memories in others. Makes them incredibly hard to track or even remember interacting with.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Cimmerian's mother apparently believed this line actually protected lost bloodlines, even though most people deny they even exist.
So much history, so many layers. And then there's the Southern Mountain tragedy you mentioned.
Right. Cimmerian's great-grandfather, born with a vampiric defect apparently among humans in the South, faced terrible bullying, eventually migrated north swearing vengeance. This trauma, it feeds directly into Cimmerian's own deeper silence and pride.
You can really hear it in that quote. I am not made to be loved by the weak. I was born for twilight, not tea.
Exactly, sets him apart.
Okay, so Cimmerian's identity is this incredible mix of ancient magic, heavy responsibility, personal scars, but to really get the unique threads, the gifts, the burdens we need to trace them back deep into his family's, well, extraordinary traditions.
Yeah, we need to talk about the Kavar family. That's his paternal lineage. Respected Northern Mountains family, known for divine rhetoric, oath-binding, and ritual argumentation. That's the Vivasquasha.
Vasquasha. Got it.
And what's really unique here, as you mentioned, is the multi-parent structure. It's not just biological, it seems like a deliberate cultural choice in their society.
So it's more than just names on a chart. It's like a strategy to gather different kinds of power and knowledge over generations.
That's exactly how it reads. Look at his great-grandparents. Matriarch Sajera Velkosha Kavar, a high priestess, her co-husbands. One's a record keeper of sacred debate scrolls, the other's a spiritual tone weaver. See, it's not about a single line, it's about compounding specific talents. It suggests they value fusing unique skills over just, traditional inheritance.
Wow, that's definitely not your standard family tree.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder about their family dinners.
Right. But seriously, this pattern continues through his grandparents and parents. Each generation adds more unique magical and intellectual talents to the mix.
It's less about one bloodline, more like a deliberate blending of powers. Like his mother, Selûne Kavar, she was a top divine argument tutor, huge influence on Cimmerian.
And her co-husbands brought skills like stone mind debating and flame ritualism. That ritualism is apparently where Cimmerian gets some of his showmanship.
Okay, but the real game changer, the influence that gives Cimmerian his most unique and maybe challenging heritage, that comes from his paternal grandfather, right? Vakalar Solimar, the Flamebound.
Oh, yeah. Described as the most feared and revered vampire of all Araquana. And his power, crucially, came from union.
Union, meaning his wives.
Yeah,
This is where the twin bloodlines come in.
exactly. Vakalar had 2 wives, each claiming completely distinct magic. First, Kamaya Novaline, the forest sorceress. She is described as a green-eyed spirit speaker.
Okay, Force Sorceress, what was her power?
Tranquility, illusion, ancient memory. And, key for a vampire's wife, she could supposedly soothe a shifting vampiric soul.
Wow. Okay, and the other wife?
Yora Duskflame, the countryside witch. Born under a triple moon, cursed with fire breath at dusk. Her breath could apparently ignite truth or burn lies. Fiery.
Definitely sounds fiery. So
Yeah.
these women, they weren't just, like, seduced.
No, the sources are clear. They were soulbinders. They chose to unite with Macaloran. Seems like they wanted to expand what power meant, secure a really unique legacy together.
And the result for Cimmerian is he gets both.
He inherits both. The Verdant Dream from Kimaya Forest Sorcery and the Twilight Flame from Yora Duskfire Witchery, all woven into his northern vampiric thread.
So this mix,
Yeah.
it lets him resist the transformation longer than other vampires. That sounds like a gift.
It is a rare gift, but it also cursed him with emotional echoes. He feels things deeply, remembers these vivid dream fragments, and sometimes physically he actually breathes out heat at twilight, a direct sign of Yora's fire inside him. So yeah, both a gift and a profound burden.
Okay, so we've traced the ancient bloodlines, unpacked the powers, the curses, this whole complex history that shaped Cimmerian. But all these threads, they kind of tighten around one point, don't they? This modern-day conflict, forbidden love, inner turmoil. It threatens to unravel everything.
Absolutely. And part of that conflict is shown through his cousin, Valkoyan. He's described as a modern vampire.
What does that mean? Modern.
It seems like he embraces the power, maybe the danger, more flippantly. He wears blood-like fashion, the sources say, and he openly mocks Cimmerian's traditional views. So there is this clash within the bloodline itself, old ways versus new desires.
Okay, internal family conflict. But the real catalyst, the big disruption, that's Amera.
Amera, the blonde-haired upper coastal classmate, senior year, human, completely not a vampire.
And she sounds like a force of nature herself. Bold, brilliant, on the Rock Gods debate team. And she debates against her own teammate just to challenge structure.
Yep, that tells you something about her. She doesn't just follow the rules.
Clearly not.
And her presence just shakes Cimmerian's entire world. The sources emphasize this. Her very presence makes Cimmerian question the vow of bloodline honor because for the first time, twilight feels like sunlight.
Wow. That's huge for him. Sunlight.
Monumental. For someone steeped in twilight and ancient oaths, she's everything he's supposed to avoid, but suddenly she's everything he wants.
Okay, this is it. Let's dive into that core scene, the one that brings it all crashing together. The Blood Moon Confession. We're going panel by panel through the comic and manga versions, really getting into the tension.
Let's do it. Panel 1, The Calling. Right away you get this wide shot, that glowing blood moon, stark red light on snowy peaks. Cimmerian alone on the cliff edge, cape flickering. Then Amera's voice cuts in. Cimmerian, I know you're here.
And his reaction, off panel.
Yeah, chilling, just dripping with urgency. You weren't supposed to follow me, not tonight. And the caption, some awakenings are not chosen, but inherited. Plus that Araquana calligraphy in the background. Naxeza no Nahum?
Which means,
I am no longer in control. Sets the stage perfectly. The tension's already high.
yeah, you can feel it. Okay, panel 2, the discovery. Amera finds him. He turns, he's half in shadow, and his eyes, they start to glow.
Yep, iris is shifting red, the transformation's starting. Snow's whipping around them. Amera just softly says, kind of full of wonder but also fear, your eyes, they're glowing.
And his reply,
Heavy.
so heavy, full of regret, like he's been exposed. You were never meant to see this side of me. And the sound effect listed is whispers of wind and heartbeat rising. You can almost hear it ramping up.
Definitely. Okay, panel 3, the shift begins. This is a close-up on Cimmerian.
Intense close-up, eyes glowing bright red now. Fangs just barely visible, starting to descend. His tattooed neck is lit up. Hair looks wild under his crown like it's crackling with energy.
He must look terrifying.
Oh yeah, he's clearly strained, trying to hold back. As he confesses, his voice is like a low growl. There's a fire inside me that only wakes under bloodlight.
And this is where his family guardian appears. The white lion spirit. Exactly. Glowing fiercely behind him. Embodies that rage, that loyalty. But Amera...
Her response is just as powerful. She cuts right through his despair.
What'd she say?
You think I don't know what it means to be feared? You hide fire in your blood. I've hidden fire in my words.
Wow. What a line. That really shows her strength, her connection to him on a different level.
It absolutely does, which leads straight into panel 4, the truth revealed. Amera, incredibly brave, actually touches his chest. Her other hand reaches for his face even as his claws are starting to form.
He lets her.
He clutches her wrist, but the description says gently, like he's holding onto his last bit of control. And this is when he says that iconic line, the heart of his conflict. I was cursed to love like a man, but hunger like a god.
Chills. Just
Oh,
wow. And the manga version adds another layer.
Yeah, even more intimate. He whispers, if I kiss you now, I might lose myself. And Amera's reply, just unwavering bravery. Then lose yourself to someone who will hold your soul.
Oh my. Right. The sound effect is just heartbeat, crimson flares in the snow. You feel the heat, the danger, the intimacy, all of it.
Okay, the intensity is off the charts. Then panel 5, the near bite. This must be the absolute peak of the tension.
It is. They lean in, impossibly close. His fangs are fully descended now. Lips brush her neck, but stop, just hovering there.
And Amera.
She closes her eyes. Total trust, total surrender. The sound effect is stripped right down. Heartbeat. Pause. Silence. Just that razor's edge tension.
You must say something.
He whispers like a desperate warning. If I bite you, you'll never be the same.
And her response. After everything.
Ultimate surrender and trust. Then bite the part of me that's always belonged to you. It's heartbreakingly vulnerable for both of them.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So how does it end? Panel 6, the oath of restraint.
He pulls away. Eyes are described as teary red, fangs bared, but he holds back. He restrains himself. A red sigil glyph glows behind him, seems symbolic of his control, maybe his lineage's power used for restraint.
He protects her.
He protects her instead of consuming her, and his lion spirit roars in the snare storm, like acknowledging his victory over that primal urge. And the final caption just hits so hard. Love is not proven by what we take, but by what we refuse to lose.
Wow. That is incredibly powerful. It completely reframes the idea of being a monster, doesn't it? Control, restraint.
Yeah,
That's the proof of love here.
it really is a defining moment. And that moment of restraint, that climax of his internal struggle, it actually connects directly to a crucial flashback. Marion's dream. Twilight bloodline. The grandmother's visit.
Ah, the grandmothers,
Yeah.
Kamaya and Yora.
Exactly. This dream happens right on the eve of the blood moon, which tells you how significant it is. The past is literally reaching out to guide his present. He drifts into this shadowy dream realm. Time is warped. The sky bleeds crimson. Classic dreamscape stuff.
And the grandmothers appear, ethereal.
Very ethereal. Emerging from drifting mists of moonfire and ancient flame, they carry, the wisdom of both forest and countryside magic, the magic they pass down to him.
Their appearance must be striking.
Oh yeah, very symbolic. The forest grandmother, Kimaya, wild cascading hair, eyes glowing green like forest light, all tranquility and ancient memory.
And Yora, the fire witch.
Braided silver, lips stained dusk red, flames dancing at her fingertips. Radiating power and truth. Fiery, just like her magic.
So they come to him in this dream.
Yeah.
Do they give him advice? A warning?
Both, really. It directly addresses the choice he's about to face with Amara on that cliff. The forest grandmother speaks first, softly. The spell weakens when love is near.
Ah, okay. So Amara's presence literally makes him more vulnerable to transforming.
Seems like it. And the fire witch grandmother confirms it, her voice like embers, and she is near. This dialogue just powerfully underlines why his struggle on the cliff was so intense. It wasn't just personal temptation, it was ancestral magic weakening.
That makes so much sense.
Then they place their hands on him. One presses a moonleaf to his chest, the other a burning ember, symbols of the respective magic.
And they offer counsel.
Yes. Final counsel, the fire witch grandmother says, her voice full of that ancient fire. When the blood sings, remember, you are both shadow and soul. A reminder of his duality.
The shadow and soul. Nice.
And the forest grandmother adds this poignant warning, very gentle but wise. Choose her only if she can hold the storm.
Hold the storm, meaning can she handle who and what he is?
Exactly. Can she handle the full force of his nature, his heritage, the danger?
So Kamarian wakes up from this. What's the impact?
He wakes up, breathing heavily. The source says the ghostly marks of the moonleaf and ember briefly glow on his chest. And his realization, just whispered, is simple but profound. They were real, and she's the key.
Wow. So the dream doesn't just reinforce Amara's importance. It confirms his path is unique, blessed, burdened, guided by these ancient, powerful forces.
Precisely. It validates everything.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for us, thinking about this deep dive? We've really peeled back the layers on Kamarian's identity.
Yeah, we've looked at his ancient lineage, the magic, the curses, the blessings that really define him, those unique family traditions, that multi-parent structure.
And of course, Amara's pivotal role in challenging everything, his vows, his existence.
It really shows that understanding a character this rich, you have to look at all the threads, right? Ancestral spells, personal choices, ancient wisdom, modern love, how it all connects to make the whole person.
And, in a way, stories like Kamarian's, they resonate, don't they? This mix of inherited destiny and personal choice. We all deal with that to some extent.
Absolutely. How do we balance where we come from, our family legacies, with our own desires, the love we find? What does it mean to be true to yourself when you're facing these huge forces, internal or external?
Yeah, exactly.
Which brings us to maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over after this. If that final caption is right, if love isn't proven by what we take, but by what we refuse to lose, what truly defines an oath? And how much can one person's will actually change their destiny when, like the sources say, the blood remembers? Kamarian's whole journey really makes you think about the power of restraint, the power of choice, even against overwhelming odds.